This is Dr. Grande. Today's question is, can I analyze the case of Amanda Lewis? Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing anybody in this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I will put the link to Patreon in the description for this video. First, I'll look at the background of this case, move to the timeline of the crime, then offer my analysis. Amanda Elaine Lewis was born on September 7, 1979, and lived in the state of Florida. When Amanda was 17, she had a son named Alex. He died when he was 16 months old from a seizure. Amanda went on to have a daughter named Adriana with one man, and a son named AJ with another man. At some point, Amanda became romantically involved with a man named Alan Carnley. In December 2005, Amanda and her two children moved into Alan's house in Esto, Florida. This is a small town about 2 hours west of Tallahassee that sits right on the border with Alabama. Amanda's daughter Adriana and her son AJ shared a bedroom in the house. Adriana had ADHD and many behavioral problems. Alan also had a son of his own in the house who was in a separate bedroom. Both Alan and Amanda worked outside the home. Alan was a meat cutter and worked the day shift. Amanda worked at a nearby nursing home. Her shift was 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. The couple had an inflatable above-ground pool in the backyard. To keep the children safe, the ladder for the pool was locked in the shed. Now moving to the timeline of the crime. On August 8, 2007, 27-year-old Amanda Lewis was at home with her 7-year-old daughter Adriana and her 6-year-old son AJ. No one else was in the house. The night before, Amanda had worked a long shift. During the afternoon, Amanda called 911 and said she needed an ambulance because her daughter fell in the pool and was not breathing. First responders arrived and Adriana was airlifted to a hospital. She was pronounced dead at 5:05 p.m. Amanda told investigators that she looked outside and saw AJ with his hand in the pool like he was trying to grab Adriana. When she ran out to the yard, she found Adriana face down in the pool and unresponsive. Initially, investigators believed that Adriana's death was an accident. This changed after they were contacted by AJ's grandparents. They took care of AJ right after the incident and claimed that AJ told them that his mother Amanda had dunked Adriana in the pool for being naughty. The police interviewed AJ, who again was only 6 years old at this time. He told them that his half-sister, Adriana, had sprayed a bottle of window cleaner on the television set in the living room, which made Amanda furious. She dragged Adriana to the pool and held her underwater by her face. AJ even drew a picture, which appeared to show Amanda drowning Adriana. This account caused the police to start an investigation. Here's what they found. In the house where Amanda lived, the bedroom that her children used smelled like urine. The odor was unbearable. There were no toys for Adriana or AJ. Amanda told the police that a week earlier, she had taken the toys away from them and locked them in the shed. This was a form of punishment. When the police checked the shed, they didn't find the toys. To explain why AJ had accused her of murdering Adriana, Amanda said that AJ liked to tell stories. In September 2007, Amanda Lewis was charged with first-degree felony murder and aggravated child abuse. She went to trial in February 2008 and was convicted of both charges. In March 2008, she received concurrent sentences of life in prison without the possibility of parole and 30 years. Now moving to my analysis. Amanda Lewis maintains her innocence and has a significant number of supporters. She was offered a plea deal that she rejected. She could have pleaded guilty to manslaughter and been sentenced to only 10 years in prison. Amanda's supporters argue that the entire case against her was based on a 6-year-old witness who was 7 years old when he testified against his mother. The state, of course, disagreed. They argued that AJ was a credible witness who had no reason to lie. The state believed that Amanda dunked Adriana in the pool several times as a form of punishment, just like AJ indicated. During one of those attacks, Adriana died. Amanda did not intend to kill, but she was still guilty of murder because she was committing a felony at the time. This brings me to the question, was Amanda Lewis guilty of murder? Let's take a look at the evidence both for and against the idea that she was guilty, starting with the inculpatory factors. Amanda's daughter, Adriana, had ADHD and was not well behaved. She was always in trouble for something, and Amanda was very frustrated with her. Amanda told her mother and her coworkers that she did not bond with Adriana because she had to report to the National Guard when her daughter was only a few months old. Amanda had a tendency to become angry. It did not take much to get a reaction from her. The condition of the house that Amanda lived in was inconsistent with proper parenting. For example, the overwhelming smell of urine and the absence of toys for the children. Amanda told the police that she had put the toys in the shed, but this was not true. In May 2007, 3 months before Adriana died, she entered her mother's car with a permanent marker and wrote the word loser on the interior. Some people insist this characterization was accurate, but Amanda was furious. When she went to work the next day, she was still upset. A coworker even took her aside to calm her down. Amanda told her coworkers something to the effect of, "I could have killed her." Adriana died from drowning, yet some people reported that she was afraid of the water. AJ testified that his mother, Amanda, dunked his half-sister in the pool. He said that his mother used her hand to push Adriana down by her face. The water in the pool was 32 inches deep. Adriana was 47 inches tall. If she fell into the pool, why didn't she simply stand up? She had been in the pool many times before and knew that she was tall enough to stand on the bottom and have her head out of the water. When first responders arrived, Adriana had a bruise on her forehead. Later, medical staff observed 3 bruises there. Investigators believe these bruises look like they were made from somebody's hand. This is consistent with AJ's story to the police. Again, Amanda used her hand to push her daughter's face into the pool. In AJ's account, he mentioned how Adriana had aggravated Amanda by spraying glass cleaner on a television set. The police found a bottle of glass cleaner in the house. A fingerprint from Adriana was on the bottle. AJ reported other events which were confirmed to be largely accurate. For example, he said that he saw Army men flying in the sky. Military helicopters were flying over the area that day. Moving to the exculpatory factors, there are many possible causes for the bruise on Adriana's forehead, including the extensive life-saving efforts which were conducted. First responders indicated there was only one bruise, and they never mentioned anything about the bruise looking as if it was made by a hand. It was only later that medical providers claimed they observed 3 bruises. Even if there were 3 bruises, that doesn't mean the bruises were caused by a hand. Amanda did not have any injuries on her body consistent with a violent struggle. Her daughter Adriana weighed about 60 pounds. How did Amanda lift her into the pool and hold her down so violently that it caused a bruise on her forehead, yet not sustain any injuries of her own? It would have been physically difficult for Amanda to have held Adriana in the pool because the side of the pool was not rigid. If a person leaned over the pool, the side would collapse and water would pour over the edge. The state's case was completely dependent on a 6-year-old witness who was 7 years old when he testified in court. The story that AJ told changed 13 times. For example, he told a different story to the police, child protection workers, and in court. One version of the story involved Adriana getting out of the pool by herself, but there was no ladder up against the pool. Again, it was kept locked in the shed. At one point, AJ said that the glass cleaner that Adriana sprayed on the television set smelled awful. Later, he said it smelled good. It was not clear if he actually understood what glass cleaner was. In one version of the story that AJ supplied to a child protection worker, he said he did not see Adriana drown. AJ's story was even inconsistent during his trial testimony. In the final version of his narrative in court, he said that Adriana climbed over the edge of the pool and fell in. In response, he grabbed her legs. Based on his account, it's possible that AJ accidentally contributed to his half-sister drowning. Maybe she fell into the pool, and when he grabbed her legs, it trapped her head under the water. Because she was unable to drop her legs back toward the ground, and elevate her head. Perhaps AJ lied about his mother because he felt responsible for his sister's death. The state argued that AJ was a credible witness because he made other unrelated observations on the day Adriana died, which were largely confirmed. This doesn't make a lot of sense. AJ could have been lying, or he could have been mistaken about some events and not mistaken about others. Even if one were to accept the state's argument, there is a problem. AJ mentioned seeing a man on a tractor cutting down trees, but the man who was there that day was cutting grass. Now, of course, maybe AJ didn't understand the difference between cutting down trees and cutting grass. However, there was a man there the day before who was cutting down trees. This makes it seem like AJ was taking that event from the day before and putting it on the day that Adriana died. He was confused about when things happened. It's possible that AJ was exhibiting something called source confusion or source misattribution. This is when somebody accurately remembers events, but inaccurately attributes the events to the wrong source or the wrong context. This can lead to a composite memory, which is made up of elements from different times, places, or events. The individual now has one coherent memory that never actually occurred. This theory is further supported by Amanda's claim that the spray bottle incident happened days before Adriana died. The defense argued that AJ had confabulation, but this is a memory disturbance where a person creates false memories to fill in memory gaps. That's probably not what happened in this case. Continuing with the exculpatory factors, as far as the smell of urine in the house, Adriana engaged in bedwetting behavior, and Amanda said the dog would urinate inside the house. There was a red wagon found next to the pool, which had water and mud in it. There was a footprint in the mud. There was also a white pan that the family used to clean their feet. It was never supposed to be in the pool, but it was found there. The wagon and the pan support an alternate theory of what happened. Amanda said that AJ told her that Adriana was cleaning bugs from the pool. Maybe Adriana stood on the red wagon and used the white pan to do this. As she was engaging in this activity, she fell over the edge of the pool and drowned. As far as the claims that Adriana did not like the water, she was afraid of putting her head in the water, but she had been in the pool many times. Maybe Adriana panicked and drowned after falling in because she was so frightened of her head being in the water, like it took her by surprise and she did not know what to do. When considering all the evidence in this case, do I believe that Amanda Lewis was guilty of murder? No, I do not believe she was guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I am not convinced she was even guilty in reality. In my opinion, it's more likely than not that Amanda was innocent. What do I think happened in this case? This is just a theory, my opinion. Amanda was ill-equipped to function as a parent. She was irresponsible and had trouble controlling her temper. Her daughter Adriana was rambunctious and frequently engaged in disruptive behavior. On August 8, 2007, Adriana fell into the pool while trying to remove insects from the water. Amanda pulled her out and tried to help her. AJ witnessed this traumatic and graphic scene and tried to make sense of it. He misunderstood some of the events and assembled a story to explain what he saw. Instead of his mother pulling Adriana out of the pool, AJ thought that his mother pushed her into the pool. AJ proved to be an unreliable witness whose last story did not involve his mother killing anyone. However, Amanda's status as a bad parent was offensive to the jury. She was viewed as such a bad parent, her word was dismissed in favor of the word of her son. Now moving to my final thoughts. If Amanda had taken the plea deal, she would have been out of prison by now. She did not predict her defeat in court. This whole situation could have been avoided if only Amanda had some way to know that she would be a loser, or that the state would play dirty pool. Those are my thoughts on the case of Amanda Lewis. Please put any opinions and thoughts in the comment section. They always generate an interesting dialogue. As always, I hope you found my analysis of this topic to be informative. Thanks for watching.